Okay, Alan, so we started your hip arthroscopy. You can see here's your cup and here's your ball. Okay, you can see you've got a good looking joint, but you can see here's the labrum down the back. You can see how bruised the labrum is back through here. You can see it's just shredded at the top. So beat up labral tissue, and you can see how you're starting to lift up the cartilage a little bit on the edge of the cup. This might be full thickness through here, I need to see, but the timing is good because it doesn't look like it extends too far back. The cartilage down the back looks perfect. All this red you shouldn't see, and that's part of the unhealthy labrum that you have. So I'm going to open up the capsule here. I'm looking at the back of the joint now. Now I'm going to look at the front of the joint. All right, Alan, you can see actually that's the central joint. And you can see that's your ligamentum teres, which is the connection between the ball and the cup. And even though you're a little bit shallow, this is intact. It doesn't look like it's torn significantly. Maybe a little bit of partial tearing there, but not bad. The bottom front of the cup, I love that you've got that triangular shape. That's a nice extension of the bottom front of the cup, which gives you more global stability and I think really helps the front of the joint in general. Now here's your labrum at the top, and you can see here when you take a look at it, you can see this is a junky piece of tissue. And when you look at it, you can see that the cup is here. Here's the labrum. You can see it's torn. You can see how bruised it is. Every time you rub against this or hit your cam against this, that's what you're doing. And you can see how that repeatedly hurts the labrum, but also starts to buckle the cartilage on the edge. And that's why we're seeing this delamination type of injury to the cartilage at the top. Now we'll stabilize this. Might be a microfracture procedure at the edge of the cup. We just need to get it out and see what it looks like. But this labrum needs to go. This is not something that you want to heal, or want to try and get to heal. So let's get rid of it and make a new one for you. And I think we should have you feeling a lot better. Okay, and so there's the ball. You can see it's all beat up. It's not round. This is what's been hitting against the edge of the cup and beating up the labrum over time. So when you look upside down, you can see there's that bruised labrum that you've been rotating against. Okay, and then as we get down the back through there, back behind, you can see where I've removed the labrum. Okay, well, I can't see it that great because it's kind of far back. So I'll get that labrum out completely, but what I'm going to do first is I'm going to remove the soft tissue through here, and you can see where you're not round. You see how you go from normal to abnormal. Right through here, this is what's been hitting against the edge of the joint and beating up that labrum. Because as we go in higher flexion, you can see how that's going to come in contact with that bruised labrum there and beat it up. So what I'm going to do is just enhance the exposure here for a second, and then once I have a little bit better view, I'm going to start reshaping the ball, and then I'll show you what it looks like once I have it finally reshaped. But you can see it's a real cruddy shape, and it's really beat up from hitting against the edge of the cup for a long period of time. So let's get it nice and smooth and concave, and I think we should have you in a much better place. Yeah, so there's your shape before. You can see how you're reasonably round in the back. In the front, you can see horrible cam. So no offset between the head and the neck, no depth, no concavity. That's what beat up the edge of the joint. And you can see that dark spot under the instruments. That's where the bone got more sclerotic or hard, reacting to the constant impact against the edge of the cup. So that was before surgery. Here's after surgery. So you can see I have a considerably more spherical, a shape that now is, if anything, even a little bit better than what we have in the back. So nice shape. When you look at it now on the inside, you can see that it's nice and smooth. So we've got a nice concavity, okay, much better shape. So now when the ball rotates into the cup, it's going to fit, and we're all the way down to the bottom of the joint with the reshaping. So much better shape. Everything is nice and smooth. This is all going to heal in well, but a lot of bone resected to get to this point, probably on the order of about 12 to 13 millimeters, depending on the location, maybe a little bit less, but nice concavity. Now, when you look upside down, I've removed your labrum down to the bottom of the joint, okay? We'll clean that up a little bit more, but there is a little prominence of the subspine here that was reactive. I took that down. I'm going to go up in traction. I'll show you the rest of the joint once we go up in traction. Okay, so the good news is when you look at this cartilage, you can see I stabilized it, and it's not a full thickness delamination. It's just partial. Bottom front of the cup, we're all the way down to the bottom, so we removed your labrum all the way down to the bottom. So we've got a nice base there, good shape. This cartilage stabilized well. This is that subspine area. This is sticking out to about here. That impinges. It doesn't help your cup volume because it's outside of it, and that's what you're impinging against, pinching the labrum in between. That's why, not coincidentally, this labrum through the zone was the most beat up. So you can see, rest of the joint looks awesome. Cartilage on the ball looks perfect. And then if I switch and go upside down now and look down the back, you can see we're all the way down the back of the joint. So this is truly going to be a circumferential labral reconstruction. So let me work on that, and then I'll show you what it looks like once it's in. All right, Alan, so you can see we got your graft all the way down to the bottom of the joint. I had to go out of traction to get there because you see you don't give me much room. So that worked out great, though. You can see the graft goes all the way down the bottom. You can see it nicely coming through that front wall, protecting that cartilage that was damaged on the edge of the joint, coming nicely over the top. So huge difference from where we began at the beginning of all this. And let me just get a I'll get an instrument in here and I'll show you. You can see it looks nice coming up over the top. So I think that should really be a nice improvement for you. If I switch portals now and I look from the front portal down the back, you can see we're all the way down the back bottom of the joint. So it's a very comprehensive labral reconstruction. I think, how many anchors did we use, guys? We used 13 anchors, and it's 13 centimeters long, so a lot of fixation. That should heal in very nicely. Let me put the ball back in the cup, and I'll show you what it looks like forming an ice seal with a femoral head. So here's that labral graft. You can see perfect seal between the graft and femoral head. Okay, coming all the way up through and down the back beyond where I can show you. So that should work and feel a lot better for you. So just take your time, let everything heal. We've got a really nice shape to the femur now. Okay, so that's going to work a lot better moving forward. That's going to protect the graft moving forward. So just take your time. You should be good. I'm going to close up your hip caps. We'll get you on your way. Keep me in the loop as you go back to Georgia. Let me know if you need anything, but I think we've got a much better hip for you and it should feel a lot better. All the best to you.